I wanted to know what your standpoint was because after that Royal Rumble moment, I saw a lot of podcasters, one of them, Sir Wilkins from the Jobbeteer, shout outs to him, saying that this was the best WWE storyline in the past 30 years. I wanted to know, how would you rank this amongst pro wrestling storylines in general? Like how does the Bloodline storyline as it is, how is it where does it rank for you?
I feel like, and I like Sir Wilkins, but I feel like he be bench pressing when he be coming up with these ideas. Bench pressing 200 pounds. No, I'm sorry, 500 pounds, and coming
Five,
up. Yeah,
yeah.
this is a great storyline. I wouldn't go that far. It's up there. It's definitely up there. I wouldn't go that far to say it. And it's not like like I said, I like Wilkins. We've interacted in person several times. I interact with people in person, by the way, once again.
That's a
Uh,
fact.
so they can see I got bass in my voice even in person. But besides that, I can't. I wouldn't say 30 years. I feel like, and if I got a debate about it, maybe he's right. But I don't feel like it's that. Like, I mean, everything that's happened in the past 3 years with Roman Reigns and his bloodline has been great. It's some of the best storytelling in pro wrestling history. I
Mm.
will say that overall pro wrestling history, because it's a storyline, not an actual wrestler. And like I said, this is just my opinion. But 30 years, I don't know, bro, because we had the Attitude Era. We had Vince going against Austin. We had the corporate ministry going against one dude. We had The Rock versus Stone Cold. We didn't have Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. We didn't like,
Mm.
yeah, 30 years is kind of a stretch. And 30 years to be considered what, 1993?
1990,
Yeah,
yeah,
1990.
1993. Yeah.
Yeah. So nah. And then you got, redacted Hogan, you know what I mean? When he joined the NWO, yeah, that's kind of a stretch, bro. Like, there's a lot of history in the past 30 years alone, let alone if you go back to the 80s and the 70s. I mean,
Yeah.
hell, we had Steamboat versus Flair towards the end around this time. Sting versus Ric Flair around this time towards the end of that. So it's like, yeah, that's a lot, bro.
I agree with
But I
that. I
understand.
would say, is it the best storyline in the past 30 years? Probably not the best, but it's definitely top five in the past 25 years. I'll give it that. I think that not Rock, Stone Cold versus Vince will always do it for me. I feel like that was the overarching story of the Attitude Era was Stone Cold versus Vince. And you can kind of fill in your 2, 3, 4, and 5 respectively, but I think that the Bloodline storyline is definitely a top five WWE, and I want to make that clear, a top five WWE storyline in the past 25 years, because like you said, there are other promotions that have done other great things over the past 25 years, 30 years of pro wrestling. um so I think I'll acknowledge it at that. I definitely will say that it's probably the best storyline in the modern day pro wrestling, in
Yeah,
the sense of, during the Impact, AEW, WWE era, I guess you can say, with New Japan. I think this is the best. I think that this is I think this is the yeah, I think this is the best modern day storyline in pro wrestling for sure. This is definitely something that is dominating the industry. Um, it has created stars, it has cemented legacies, and it has created valuable, memorable moments for everyone involved. And it's making a new star in the process with Solo, right? It's making this, all of this is helping form the identity of Solo Sokoa, who I think is going to be a major player in this company for years to come. But I don't think that it's the best storyline in the past 30 years because there's so many, but it's definitely top five. I definitely put it up there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like I said, Wilkins take his pre-workout and then he goes 0 to 100. So, and that's not to deny that man. Like I said, we have history. As far as me meeting him, shaking hands, and he's a good dude. I'm just saying, like,
Mm.
that's a bit much, and I'll tell him the same thing or anybody else. It's just that's yeah, bro. Like, and me, him, and you the same age. It's like, dog, we we remember the attitude. I'm a little bit older than y'all, but still, we around the
Right.
same age bracket. We remember that. You in your 30s, not to give out Mr. Nahisis. age away, but if you in your
I'm
30s, you
29,
from the
so
Attitude Era.
yeah,
Hell, everybody had a storyline back in the Attitude Era. We remember
everybody.
Al Snow and Big Boss Man with Pepper. All right, when he made him carne asadas. So
We
we,
Nah, but I
so
that's a fact. I agree with you 100% though, as far as that Attitude Era having a lot of storylines. Uh, Definitely wanted to like ask the audience how they felt as far as where they rank the Bloodline storyline amongst other WWE storylines. But we're going to move on. So